Christmas is dead. Yes, I said it. Christmas is dead. That's just how I see it right now. Hey guys, my name is Kobe Tunes and I'm a digital artist, basically a comic artist and illustrator, and also an animator. In this video, I'm just going to be talking about how I see Christmas right now. And to be honest with you, Christmas is technically dead. Like, I don't think Christmas exists anymore. And I'm gonna try to explain as best as I can why I believe so. Because first of all, I'd like to talk about exactly what made me come to this conclusion. So I remember when I was a kid, probably in the early 2000s, like 2005, 2006, all the way up to 2010, Christmas was a whole big deal. Like when it's even December, when everyone is talking about Christmas. I remember some people even started making decorations in their homes and in their workplaces by September, which was really crazy, but some people actually did. That time was actually really awesome. You'd actually experience happiness as a kid. I don't know if kids these days ever experience happiness because social media is their main source of, enlightenment, I guess. But back in the day, you'd see a lot of people coming together, sharing gifts, and making sure Christmas was perceived to be the best season in the year, best part of the year. So Christmas was always a holiday season to look forward to in every year. Now, I know a lot of people have these conspiracy theories about the origin of Christmas and the fact that the religious background of it is based on a lie or whatever they say. And I mean, honestly, I understand why they would say so. It does make sense, because to them, the reason why they don't believe Christmas should be celebrated is they have gotten to understand that Jesus was not born on winter. Because if you say Christmas is the day Jesus was born, then according to the Bible, Jesus was not born during winter time. And according to some Bible scholars, the time Jesus was born was actually springtime, somewhere around March, because that's when the sheep usually give birth. And that was why the shepherds taking care of their flock at night, because they were actually expecting the sheep to give birth at that time. Well, I'm not going to talk too much about Bible scholars and stuff, but basically, when you look at the reasons why we say we celebrate Christmas, it doesn't really tally with the facts about Jesus Christ's birth. Because basically they say Christmas is the time Jesus was born. If you look at it that way, you're not going to really see it to be special. Now, I'm not saying I hate people who don't see Christmas to be a very important holiday, or just because it doesn't have a solid religious background. But I'd like to say, think of it this way. Imagine you visited a very new country and they had this special festival that they celebrate every year. And in that festival, all they do is share gifts. Now, maybe their main reason for the festival was probably because of a mythical story. Let's say China. China has this holiday where they celebrate some sort of dragon stuff about their culture. And so far, nothing scientifically has proved that dragons ever existed. But they do celebrate it, and whoever goes there enjoys their cultural celebration of the Day of the Dragon or whatever it is. And celebrating it doesn't make you a liar just because maybe dragons never existed. But celebrating it helps you to understand them as a people. It helps you to feel at home, even though that's not your home. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It helps you to feel welcomed, because it's one of the main things that helps you to get attached to a culture is their festivals, the things they celebrate. Once you join them to celebrate, you feel like you're one of them. And I believe a lot of foreigners even come to Africa, especially West Africa, just to see the kind of cultural activities we have here and partake in our festivals. And that helps them to feel like they are one with us, especially when you see them dancing around with the dancers, the cultural dancers. That makes you feel like you're African. It's like all of a sudden you feel like you're one of us. Even if you are genetically not African, you just feel at home. And I think if we start to see Christmas that way, we're actually going to be able to understand that it's not necessarily about the birth of Christ. It is about the birth of Christ. I mean, the origin might not be about the birth of Christ, but that's what it is now. And the fact that it happens to be on the same day that probably the Roman Empire used to worship the sun god or whatever they call it, doesn't mean you partaking in it because you end up, sharing gifts to people you love makes it a bad thing. I mean, sharing gifts is a good thing, right? And if you see a lot of people celebrating Christmas and saying that Christmas is a day that we use to remember the day that the Savior was born, what's wrong with just accepting it the way it is, as they say it? Because no one is saying if you're not Christian, you can't celebrate Christmas. No one is saying when you celebrate Christmas, you have to be Christian by force. The same thing applies to African culture. When you come to Africa, when you come to Ghana, and then you come to experience the festival, the fact that you're there for the festival doesn't make you a Ghanaian traditional religious person. It only makes you human. That's what human beings do. We find ways to make something special, to make meaning out of something. But Christmas now seems off. People have their own excuses for not celebrating Christmas, but I feel like Christmas was meant to be that day that the whole world comes together and then tries to help others understand that they do care, and that no matter what goes on the whole year, no matter how busy they were, they still remember that they have friends, they have loved ones, they have a family somewhere. And every time I sit back and think about this, and I wonder if this whole idea still exists, because all I see is people making excuses for not wanting to celebrate Christmas. Yeah, and this kind of hurts me. I remember back then when I was a kid, every Christmas time my mom would gather a lot of gifts. So in our house we have this big farm. Yes, I'll say it's a farm. It's like in our house, half of the land is where we actually live and the other half is full of plants, crops that we've actually grown ourselves. We have a lot of fruits, oranges, mangoes, anything we can plant, we planted. And on Christmas Day or during the Christmas holidays, we just harvest whatever we can harvest at that time of the year. We find baskets and then we fill them all up to the brim, making sure they are equally distributed. And then my mom would send each of us, my brothers and I. So let's say I will go to the first neighbor's house, my brother will go to the other neighbor's house, and my other brother also go to the other neighbor's house. So we go there, we knock, they open, and then we just tell them, Merry Christmas, and this is a gift from my mom, or this is a gift from my parents. And you could see from the look of their faces, you could tell that this is not something people usually do. And so, first of all, it comes to them as a surprise. And second of all, it is something they really do appreciate, because that smile on their faces is just priceless. There's this thing about doing something nice for someone. There's this thing about giving a gift. And I feel like it's the only valid, egoistic thing to do, to give someone a gift. The moment you do something nice for someone, there's this inner feeling that you get. It's definitely some sort of ego thing, but it's actually right. Because when you do something good for someone and the person feels like if you had not done that, he or she would have not survived, or he or she would have not experienced being loved, it makes you feel so proud of yourself. Like, it's kind of the same thing that drives Mr. Beast to make his videos and to give a lot of money away. That look on their faces when they realize you are trying your best to help them, or you are doing something nice for them. It's just, it feeds your soul, literally. You feel like this is something I should have been doing all this while, but I've not been doing. I think that's what really matters about Christmas. It's not about the fact that it is used to remember the day that Jesus was born. It's not about the fact that the day that Jesus was born does not match Christmas Day. You say whatever you want. You're just being a hypocrite, because the main focus is the fact that we give gifts on a Christmas Day. And then that's the same reason why Christmas is probably the most popular holiday season in the whole wide world. Mainly because it's something that everyone cherishes. Giving and receiving gifts. Now, the whole idea of Santa Claus, from what I know, there was a Christian, a saint, called Nicholas. I've forgotten what the actual full name, but what I know was that whenever it comes to the end of the year, he would go around in his community and then be sharing gifts to the kids who were, good children throughout the year, making sure they have the best Christmas ever. So he did this a couple of times over and over again, and it became a thing that he was known for. And from there, everyone started calling him, I think his name wasn't Nicholas, it was Niklaus. So he started calling him Saint Niklaus. Saint Niklaus becoming Santa Claus. So Santa is like saint. That's why they say Santa Maria, so Saint Mary. So like Saint Niklaus, then they shortened the Niklaus to Claus, so Santa Claus. Then it became a whole new name, and that name was passed on from place to place because other people were trying to mimic that giving attitude of Saint Niklaus. So in the end, there was this whole figure of the Christian. I don't know if this is how he looked like, but there was this whole figure of him, the old man in red that you mostly see around, with a white gray hair and everything. And that actually solidified what Christmas is in our minds. It helps kids to identify fatherhood as something that awards you or rewards you for the good things that you do. And I believe this is a virtue that has kept most of our generation, most of the millennials and the Gen Zs on their toes to do what is right. But now it's dying mainly because, I'm not going to necessarily just blame it on technology, but I can't say I won't blame them because it's all part of it. Social media has changed the way we see things in life. It's like it created a virtual world where we feel like it's another place we have to experience life within. And that kind of made us lose that value that we had for real life. So instead of experiencing things with people in real life, we wanted to experience life with people on a virtual platform instead, because it was new and it felt nice to actually talk to someone without the person being around. And so we got addicted to that and started feeling lazy. I mean, it was a solution to the problem. It was a solution to distance being a blockade from us meeting our loved ones. And we actually got addicted to that. So it being a solution also made us, grow lazy. And instead of trying to do what is right, that is spending time with our loved ones, because nothing beats your presence. Your presence, people feeling your presence is the most important thing. when it comes to socializing. So social media is like that thing that was supposed to solve our problems, but created a whole new problem after solving one single problem, which was the communication problem. Social media is not a bad thing, but it just heightened that desire in human beings to care less about other people and care more about themselves. So people post only to get attention, and then it became a thing. And then we started being able to monetize it, and then a lot of people started, doing social media mainly because they want money. And now people's attentions have become a source of income for influencers. So we are literally selling our attention, the attention we could have given our loved ones, to these companies. And the first few companies, I would say it's not their fault. That wasn't their goal. But right now, they are making tons and tons of money out of that. It's not a bad thing to make money out of what you've created. But right now, they're taking advantage of the fact that we spend a lot of time there to make money. And that's killing us. And even if they know this to be a fact, they don't really care. Because after all, they're getting what they want, the money. So yeah, the basic reason for Christmas dying is the fact that people only care about themselves these days. So like I was saying about my past when I was a kid, that thing is dead. Right now, I don't see anyone giving gifts. I don't see anyone sharing gifts. I only see people expecting others to give them gifts, which is bad, because what mattered back then was what you wanted to do for someone, not what you wanted someone to do for you. Because even as a kid, you're hoping to draw your dad and your mom on a piece of paper to be pasted on the fridge or something. We were all doing something to make each other happy, but now all of that is in shambles. And I think this is going to be the downfall of civilization. It may not sound as nice, but it is what it is, guys. That's how I see it. I don't think it's ever going to change, because the more I try to see it, the more the world pushes itself towards that direction. People are losing touch of each other. They're losing connection from each other. And it gets worse every time. It never gets better. And it's sad. It's really sad. It's really hard to think of right now, because if this is what humanity has to offer, then why the heck are we even still here? Just to suffer? In this life, you may think you need money, but in actual sense, all you need is people. People who care about you. Because if you have money, without someone to share it with, without someone to be there with you, you're worthless. People might say money will solve all your problems, but remember, when you get money, unless there's someone willing to be paid for what you want them to do for you, you actually don't find happiness. Because when you get the money, you still need someone to offer a service to you in order for you to actually experience that happiness that you wanted. So it's not really the money that gave you the access to the happiness. It was a person who could create that happiness for you. When you go to a cinema and then you pay for a seat over there so you can watch a film, it's not the money you paid that gave you access to the happiness. It was a person who made the film, or the team that came together to make the film. They paved the way to your happiness. Because if that wasn't there, the money wouldn't even be necessary. Because what product would be there for you to purchase? Why would you have to spend money if there's no film to watch? So yeah, people matter. And until we realize that, we are never going to move forward as a society. Society is breaking down into pieces little by little. And until we recognize this fact, these things are never going to change for the better. So yeah, let me know what you think about Christmas. Let me know what you think about what I said. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I would like to know that in the comment section below. And yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. And make sure you do something nice for someone this year. You only have a few days to go for the year to end. Make sure you do something special for someone before the year ends. Not just in the name of Christmas, but in the name of humanity. We need people to be happy because of other people. So yeah, that's it for this video. Don't forget to spread the love. And like this video if you kind of like these kind of videos where I just speak from my heart. I didn't even script out this video because I wanted to talk directly from how I feel about this topic. So sorry if it's not exactly how you wanted it to be, but just wanted to try something new. After all, there's no harm in trying, right? That's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you. Bye.